Welcome back to Superstructures, the ultimate destination for all things extraordinary in the world of luxuriousness. We'll be looking through the fascinating realm of abandoned celebrity homes that simply can't find a buyer. Have you ever wondered what happens to those lavish properties that once belonged to our favorite stars? You know, the homes that were once buzzing with A-list parties, grandeur, and tales of Hollywood legends? Well, prepare yourself for a jaw-dropping exploration as we unlock the doors to these forgotten treasures. First off, we will have an exclusive scoop on the incredible Tuscan-style mansion owned by none other than the legendary Nelly. Remember those unforgettable hits like Dilemma and Hot in Here that dominated the airwaves back in the early 90s? Well, Nelly was rocking the charts and is believed to be sitting on a mind-blowing fortune of $40 million. Now let's dive into the fascinating story behind Nelly's Tuscan retreat. Picture this. It's 2002, Nelly's at the pinnacle of his stardom, and he decides to invest a cool $2 million in this magnificent mansion. But hold up, here's the twist. Our sources reveal that Nelly never intended to live there himself. Nope, he had a grand plan to follow in the footsteps of other celebrity house developers and flip the property for a hefty profit. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. For reasons unbeknownst to us, this 10,800 square foot mansion has remained unoccupied for the past 2 decades. Why, you ask? Well, the answer lies in the mysteries of the music industry. Rumors circulate that the cost of restoring this grand estate proved to be quite the financial burden. But hey, let's not get too disheartened. We're here to explore the beauty that lies within. Situated on a sprawling 12-acre lot in the picturesque landscape of Missouri, this property offers breathtaking views from virtually every room. Just imagine waking up to panoramic vistas that take your breath away. The exterior of the mansion boasts a majestic white stucco finish, complete with enchanting castle-like turrets. It's a sight to behold, no doubt. But the real magic happens once you step inside. Prepare to be dazzled by the opulent interior, adorned with high-end fixtures, imposing vaulted ceilings, and exquisite arched windows that flood the rooms with natural light. The marble floors exude luxury, while the full-height fireplaces add an undeniable touch of grandeur. And let's not forget the imposing columns that truly make you feel like royalty in your own home. In 1998, an impressive home is constructed with grandeur in mind, with 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and a breathtaking double-height lounge. It's a sight to behold. The great room offers panoramic views of a beautiful garden that stretches as far as the eye can see. But here's the twist. Despite its remarkable features, the house remains unfinished. This incredible fixer-upper still stands waiting for its ultimate transformation. You won't believe the state it's in though. The house lacks plumbing, and some rooms are even missing floors. It's a renovator's dream, with endless possibilities for restoration and reinvention. Let's step outside and explore the vast surroundings. The garden is enormous, featuring an abandoned basketball court and pool, along with enchanting woodland trails that wind their way down toward the picturesque river valley. It's like stepping into a forgotten wonderland. Now hold on tight, because here comes the exciting part. In February 2021, the property hit the market for a mere $599,000. Unsurprisingly, a buyer swiftly emerged, and it turns out they are none other than the Kingdom of God Global Church, based in St. Louis. Quite an unexpected turn of events, wouldn't you say? Rumors are swirling about this mysterious church and its recent acquisition spree. Some locals claim to have witnessed unusual activities at their other properties. One neighbor even suspected that up to 40 people were living in one of the homes. But that's not all. It's been said that the FBI paid a visit to inquire about the occupants. Is there something more to this church than meets the eye? Could it be some kind of a cult? The speculation is running wild. So, what lies ahead for Nelly's former mansion under the ownership of the Kingdom of God Global Church? Will it undergo a magnificent transformation? Or will it remain shrouded in mystery and secrecy? Only time will tell. Next up, we will embark on a captivating journey through the intriguing tale of Mohamed Hadid's ill-fated mega mansion. I bet you've heard whispers about this notorious architectural behemoth that has graced headlines for nearly a decade. Owned by none other than the esteemed real estate tycoon, Mohamed Hadid, who also happens to be a proud father of supermodels Gigi and Bella Hadid. This extensive estate once nestled itself on a picturesque hillside plot in the glamorous neighborhood of Bel Air, Los Angeles. But hold on tight, because this saga takes an unexpected turn. Since the inception of construction back in 2011, Mohamed Hadid found himself entangled in a fierce legal battle with the Los Angeles authorities. You see, his ambitious vision for the mansion raised more than a few eyebrows due to its colossal scale and peculiar location. Originally, the plan was to erect a magnificent 14,000 square foot mansion on the lot. However, as time went on, the property seemed to expand like a magic castle, all without the necessary permits. By 2014, the local authorities stumbled upon a startling revelation. They discovered that Hadid's new residence sprawled across a staggering 30,000 square feet, encompassing multiple floors. In response, the building permits were promptly revoked, signaling an end to any further construction. And here's the twist. Rumors swirl that Mohamed Hadid, undeterred by the setback, forged ahead with his architectural dreams, clandestinely adding a third floor and even a luxurious pool deck, all without a license. Can you believe it? The audacious move did not go unnoticed by the vigilant authorities of Los Angeles. Determined to uphold the laws of the land, they decided to take decisive action. Mohamed Hadid found himself facing the consequences of his actions, as he was sentenced to a staggering 200 hours of community service for his illegal construction endeavors. In 2018, the saga took an ominous turn as concerned neighbors, who affectionately dubbed the colossal structure the Starship Enterprise, rallied together in a united front. Their fears echoed across the pages of the prestigious LA Times, centered on the very stability of the hillside home. They believed it teetered perilously on the edge of collapse. After an arduous legal battle that seemed to stretch on endlessly, the developer faced a crushing blow in June 2020. The California Supreme Court ruled against him, declaring the property a clear and present danger. The mansion stood as a poignant symbol of ambition gone awry, left unfinished and abandoned for a decade. Desperate attempts to halt the impending destruction ensued, with Mohamed Hadid resorting to declaring bankruptcy. Alas, his efforts proved futile. In January of 2021, the remarkably intensive and forsaken mansion was begrudgingly listed on the real estate market for a mere $8.5 million. Oh, what a monumental loss it was, considering the real estate tycoon had once hoped to fetch a staggering $100 million for his grand creation. With its fate sealed as nothing more than a development opportunity, the Hilton and Highland listing held no illusions. The prospective buyers were informed that the current construction would meet its demise, demolished at no additional cost upon the closure of escrow. However, finding a buyer proved to be an elusive quest, prompting a series of price reductions. Eventually, the property was auctioned off for a mere $5 million. Now here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The proceeds from the sale were initially intended to finance the mansion's demolition. However, since the winning bid fell short of the listing price, Sahara, the gracious victor, agreed to shoulder the burden. And so the once towering symbol of grandeur met its ultimate fate. It has now been completely razed to the ground, bringing a sigh of relief to the neighbors and even Hadid's own architect, who purportedly harbored concerns that the structure would slide down the hill and potentially cause harm. Next is another exciting story to share with you as we take a trip to the enchanting country retreat of none other than Courtney Love. You may know her as the talented singer, film star, and widow of the legendary Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain. Now, Courtney Love decided to put her grungy 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom haven, nestled in the picturesque Olympia, Washington state, on the market back in 2018 for a jaw-dropping price of $320,000. But hold on tight, because this property was no ordinary real estate gem. Oh no, reports revealed that the once charming abode had been left to the mercy of Mother Nature, as if it were a forgotten relic lost in time. Nature had taken over the 7 acres of land, leaving it in a state of disrepair that would make even the bravest of DIY enthusiasts tremble. The realtor, not one to sugarcoat things, boldly described the home as a major fixer-upper, urging potential buyers to prepare for the Herculean tasks to restore it to its former glory. And by everything, they really meant everything. It was clear that this place required some deep-pocketed visionaries to bring it back to life. Back in 1995, Love acquired the property for a hefty sum of $447,000, just a year after the tragic passing of her beloved husband. However, as time went on, she had distanced herself from the retreat, leaving it abandoned for years. In a desperate attempt to part ways with the troubled estate, Love had previously tried to sell it in 2011, albeit without success. Considering the sorry state of the property, it's no wonder she opted for such a surprisingly low asking price. Inside, the house told a tale of neglect and decay. The once vibrant walls were now worn and tired, while the 8-stall stable had become a canvas for rebellious graffiti artists. It seemed like the very bricks that held the structure together had given up hope and littered the floor. And let's not even get started on the outhouse, which begged for a complete makeover. If you thought the house was in a bad shape, prepare yourself for the ultimate tragedy. The guest cottage, once a cozy retreat, had succumbed to the unforgiving hands of a fierce fire, leaving it in a state of utter devastation. It was a heartbreaking sight indeed. But fear not, dear viewers, for every story has its silver lining. A buyer, undeterred by the property's abysmal condition, emerged from the shadows and made an offer in 2018. And now, after what seemed like an eternity, this estate is finally off the market, awaiting a much-needed major rehab. We can only imagine the incredible transformation that awaits this once neglected haven. Next on the list is the legendary Apple co-founder, Steve Jobs. In 1984, he made a bold move by purchasing a stunning house in the charming Woodside, California. This Spanish revival gem, designed by the eminent architect George Washington Smith and constructed back in 1925, instantly captured Jobs' attention. But little did he know what fate had in store for him and this remarkable property. Fast forward to 1994 and something changed. Jobs, although initially smitten with the house, grew to despise it. He decided to move out, leaving the mansion empty and waiting for its next chapter. For over a decade, this grand residence remained unoccupied, bearing witness to the passage of time. During these years of abandonment, nature took its course, gradually reclaiming the once majestic mansion. Vines wound their way around the exterior as if painting a lush green tapestry on its walls. The interiors, once filled with life, fell into disarray. Mold crept across the ceilings and old appliances lay scattered throughout the rooms. But fear not, the tale takes an unexpected turn. Jobs, with his tenacity, fought to have the mansion demolished, and eventually, he emerged victorious. However, destiny can be a fickle companion. Tragically, the Apple CEO lost his battle against pancreatic cancer, leaving behind a legacy and a mansion that had seen better days. Before the demolition, though, the local authorities made a remarkable decision. They salvaged precious artifacts from the house, rescuing fragments of its history. Imagine walking among door handles that once greeted esteemed guests or being mesmerized by chandeliers that once illuminated grand reception rooms. But the pièce de résistance, a magnificent, awe-inspiring pipe organ that once filled the mansion with heavenly melodies. Next up is a mansion nestled in the heart of Beverly Hills, Liza Minnelli's childhood home. Built in 1925, this architectural gem caught the eye of renowned Hollywood Regency architect John Wolfe, who later redesigned it to add a touch of glamour and elegance. Fast forward to the mid-1950s when the talented Oscar-winning director Vincent Minnelli, fresh from his divorce from the iconic Judy Garland, made this mansion his own. Liza spent countless hours exploring the lavish halls and grand rooms of this celebrity abode on Crescent Drive. Vincent Minnelli spared no expense in adoring the house with magnificent chandeliers, luxurious fabrics, and exquisite furnishings, creating an atmosphere of opulence that was truly second to none. However, when Vincent Minnelli passed away in 1986 at the age of 83, the torch was passed to Liza, his beloved daughter. In a unique arrangement, he had granted ownership to Liza while allowing his fourth wife, Lee, to continue residing in the mansion for as long as she desired. But as time went on, tensions arose and the fate of this iconic property took an unexpected turn. In the year 2000, Liza made the difficult decision to sell the house, prompting a dramatic series of events. Lee, who had called this mansion her home for years, refused to leave. The dispute escalated, with Liza ceasing to pay the bills and staff, leaving the mansion in a state of neglect and disrepair. Sadly, Lee took legal action against her stepdaughter, but eventually dropped the case when Liza agreed to cover the new owner's rent, ensuring that Lee could continue living in the mansion until her passing in 2009. Despite the long-standing legal battle, the house became a hauntingly beautiful sight, attracting urban explorers eager to witness its faded grandeur firsthand. As we step inside, we're greeted by a sight that speaks volumes about the passage of time. The ceilings, once grand and magnificent, now bear the marks of wear and tear, telling stories of a bygone era. The peeling wallpaper reveals layers of history, while the once stylish furniture lies scattered, reminding us of the mansion's former glory. Let's now dive into the intriguing story of the Queen's lavish gift to Prince Andrew and Sarah, the Duke and Duchess of York. Back in 1986, the Queen truly outdid herself by bestowing upon the couple a jaw-dropping 665-acre parcel of land and the stunning Sunny Hill Park estate in Berkshire. Following their wedding that same year, an extravagant Swiss-inspired mansion was constructed. Picture this: a magnificent 12-bedroom mansion boasting opulent reception rooms, stables fit for royalty, and even a luxurious swimming pool. Construction began in 1987, and in 1990, this dazzling property, affectionately known as South York or the Dallas Palace due to its resemblance to a famous TV show ranch, was completed. But love didn't last forever for Andrew and Fergie. Their marriage began to crumble shortly after moving into their fairy tale home, and by 1996, they officially divorced. However, in a surprising twist, the duo decided to continue living under the same roof with their two daughters. The situation remained until 2002, when the Duke relocated to the Royal Lodge in Windsor, which was once the residence of the beloved Queen Mother. As a result, Sunny Hill Park was put up for sale, and in 2006, the Duchess and their daughters bid farewell, leaving the property vacant. Now this is where things take a scandalous turn. Prince Andrew, who later became embroiled in the notorious Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scandal, found himself in need of funds to renovate his new residence at the Royal Lodge. To cover the costs, he allegedly remortgaged Sunny Hill Park. In 2007, the property was sold to a Kazakhstani investor named Kanas Rakajev for a jaw-dropping $21 million, a staggering $4.3 million over the asking price. Naturally, this raised eyebrows and sparked suspicions among some observers. By 2009, Sunny Hill Park had fallen into disrepair and was sadly abandoned. It wasn't until December 2013 that planning permission was finally granted to tear down the decaying royal residence. However, the actual demolition work didn't commence until 2015. And let me tell you, the transformation was truly remarkable. What once stood as a dilapidated eyesore was reduced to rubble in 2016, making way for a magnificent new mansion that would take its place. Lastly, we'll be featuring none other than tennis legend Boris Becker. Flush with cash in 1997, Boris Becker decides to invest in a dream property on the beautiful Spanish island of Mallorca. The price tag, a whopping $598,000. He spared no expense and transformed the place into a luxurious oasis, complete with a stunning pool, a Moroccan-style house, a guest house, and even a basketball court. It seemed like paradise, until it all went downhill. Fast forward to 2004, and Becker finds himself in hot water. he's hit with a jaw-dropping $255,000 fine for unauthorized additions to the property. The authorities weren't pleased, and they demanded that he tear it all down. Things only got worse from there. In 2007, Becker puts the property on the market for a staggering $18.4 million, hoping to recoup his losses. But despite its grandeur, no buyer could be found. The Grand Slam champion starts struggling to keep up with the hefty maintenance costs. Talk about a financial nightmare! As if that wasn't enough, in 2011, Becker's gardener takes legal action against him, claiming a whopping $354,000 in unpaid wages. The Spanish court rules in favor of the gardener, and the property is confiscated until the debt is settled. Then, in 2014, the property is confiscated again, this time due to an unpaid invoice for building work. Becker eventually manages to pay the bill and regain possession, only to lose it for good in 2017 when he declares bankruptcy. Tough times for the tennis star indeed. The story takes a bizarre turn when the property falls into the hands of a German squatter, George Bears, and his self-proclaimed Intergalactic Auxiliary and Rescue Command. Can you believe it? The squatters take over the place, turning it into their headquarters. Thankfully, justice prevails in 2019 when a court ruling forces the squatters to vacate the premises. The police step in, removing the eccentric crew in January 2020. Now the once glamorous mansion stands abandoned, facing an uncertain future. It's a haunting sight, and you can't help but wonder what lies ahead for this crumbling piece of history. But here's the kicker. While Becker may have won the battle against the squatters, he himself found himself on the wrong side of the law. In April 2022, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in jail for hiding millions of pounds worth of assets following his bankruptcy. Turns out, he had a share in $1 million property in Germany. Talk about a plot twist. So, what can we learn from this incredible tale of rise and fall? It's a reminder that even the biggest stars can face financial hardships and make questionable decisions. But hey, let's not judge. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at all of us. Before we wrap up, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. And together, we'll embark on exciting journeys and dive deep into intriguing tales in the world of luxuriousness. Thanks for watching Superstructures. Remember, life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and the stories we uncover can be both mesmerizing and eye-opening. Until next time, see you in the next video!